They've been pruned already, and I've got them covered again, and they will not.
Yeah, it's so
They won't.
frustrating not to be able to grow anything.
Well, you can grow it.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah,
you're
you're
feeding
fixing
it.
the wild animals.
It's a smorgasbord.
Yes, it truly is.
Greg, let me give you back this card because I've written down your information and you can use it with somebody else.
There's nobody else.
Oh, there are lots of
Brenda,
people who'd like
there's
to
only
know
you.
you.
There's only you.
Only you.
Are you the person I need to talk to? I'd like to volunteer some hours to the village, just as a volunteer. I don't want to be paid.
Oh my goodness. Did you say?
No,
Look
I'm
at
the
it,
one
got
you
real
need to
quiet.
talk to for that.
It
Did
real
you just
quiet.
fall out of the sky?
There was just,
You have to understand, I'm a member of the Garden Club, Rotary. I ran the blood drive yesterday.
Oh, you did?
she has no qualifications at all.
I am on the board for the food pantry and do all of the delivery lists for them. My husband encouraged me. We've been in Texas for about 6 months, and he encouraged me. He said, when you get back to Angel Fire, I want you to find a job. But he's still working, and any job that I got, if you paid me $8 an hour, I'd have to pay $4 to the government.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
So I'm not interested in being paid because that's not my incentive. My incentive is to become involved
Wonderful.
and get out of the house in the morning and do my hair
And
You
you're
have
not,
a reason.
you're not old yet.
and maybe put on makeup.
Yeah. Give yourself another 5 years, then you'll be.
Oh, well,
I know.
Oh, you are?
Staying in
No.
your pajamas for a while.
I
love
Just
that.
so y'all know,
Yeah.
you're being recorded.
fine.
I haven't said anything
I'm a
bad.
problem person for
All
the
right,
village. I
Willingham's
have
on his
complained
way.
about water faucets that have,
What do
well,
we
not
need for
faucets,
quorum?
water, not meters, the,
3?
I think,
The sprinklers, are you talking about?
no.
because we did it with.
Oh, whenever it's broken.
Fire hydrants?
Hydrants that are spewing more
Okay,
water
so
than
three
I
to-
consume
three to
in my
four.
I think
house.
so.
Mhm.
But
we
I'm
only
not,
have one thing that we need to do.
right.
And have been for 2 years.
Yes. We have an ice sculpture across from our place as the water just
Sprays.
into ice. It's beautiful. People stop and take pictures of it.
Well,
Yeah, that's great if you don't.
I complained about the two
I was
that were
gonna
on
go
my
see
way
the
up to my
president, but he
house.
was-
And
Don's
so
on
they
his way.
carefully
Okay.
put the pipes so that they went onto the ground instead of spewing into
But I
the
think,
air.
Uh-huh.
because I know we did.
All right, well, just so you know, we are working on that.
I know,
The,
I've talked
the new
with Kurt.
water system is called a
our
SCADA
total?
system. SCADA, it's an acronym for something.
Not skate.
Oh, there we go.
SCADA.
SCADA,
And
SCADA.
a half floor.
And that way, if you talk to the
Thank you,
public
sir.
works guy
Couldn't
and
do
you
this
say, how you
without
doing
you."
on the
Oh,
SCADA
we were
system,
just, we were having
he'll know exactly what you're
Trails
talking
committee
about.
meeting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I'm pretty isolated up on the west side.
Yeah.
My nearest neighbor, meaning the nearest house to me, is a half mile away. So
Do we know
We're,
who our vice chair is?
we don't get a whole lot of
Isn't
traffic
it,
Mhm.
Willingham,
and
Dawn?
problems
Oh,
Maybe.
seem to
I
go
don't know.
okay, so
unnoticed.
Don's running the meeting when he gets here.
Yeah. We elect Dawn.
You have to drive by, you have to have somebody important drive by them every day.
I don't know, I don't know.
It's like, you don't show
They have
up
to
your
be
secretary.
flooding their basement before it gets noticed.
That's right.
Just call Greg. He'll take care of
I
everything.
am not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna volunteer.
I saw your post, it's like.
Jeff,
You fell in love with her 'cause she's
I'm
so
out.
weird?
You're up.
I mean, I have.
What's that mean?
That means you're being recorded and you're live streaming to the YouTube channel.
Okay, wonderful.
So only say nice things.
Do we know, is Dawn coming?
Yeah, he's on his way. I
Okay.
believe.
Don's coming, he just had a little thing like a golf course to open today.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
saw
Little detail like that.
Golf course already,
The
so.
mountain bike park did not open today. This is an FYI, it was
Too wet.
too muddy and sloppy up there that would have just torn up the trails.
Sure.
So hopefully it dries out a little bit today and they can open tomorrow, it's their goal. Oh, am I supposed to even make announcements if we're not started yet? That's just the information.
Yeah, we're just-
That's not part of the formal
Probably
meeting,
shouldn't
anybody
be
out there?
recording until we bring this meeting to order.
Yeah, we can just talk amongst ourselves till we're in order,
I
right?
don't
I'll
know.
put my hat over the.
That's one of my,
That's kind of scary every time you make a sound that it goes to you.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you're in the audience or what.
Take that, it'd be fancy.
So how's it going? Good, how you doing?
Speak too quietly, he's gonna come up to you.
Did you draw the sky?
Scary.
Surge,
No, for what now?
your surge,
What's he doing?
something on the benchmark.
No. I mainly do steel, and all my stuff's basically in the building on there.
I don't know. It's like big warehouses and stuff.
Mainly schools, municipal buildings, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody need skate
And yeah,
work information?
Crazy busy.
If you have one, I'll take it, but I'm,
Yeah, oh, I'll bet. That's fine.
I've got it.
okay, perfect. Yeah.
Do you need one?
Sure.
You wrote it, you don't need one.
That's it.
Thank you.
I mean, if you dropped the McKinney, didn't
I
they? All you
share
see is
everything.
crane.
Thank you.
We
We
appreciate that.
Cranes.
It's after so little sharing in the past, this is
Yeah.
wonderful.
I,
Oh, by the way,
people aren't gonna like half the things I say, but I'm gonna say them anyway, because I just
I mean,
don't
I
wanna
grew up
keep it
around
secret.
areas.
well, Greg,
We appreciate it.
I'm not sure
It
if you're
was
aware,
like
but the
287
Rotary
stopped.
Club
Mhm.
here in
In our
Angel Fire
house when I
put
was
up
a
the
kid.
bulletin boards that are in.
Yeah, in the post office.
Post office.
Yeah, over, yeah.
Would you
Right.
want to?
changed so much.
It's so, yeah.
Does Janine have one over there in
Used to be a
maintenance? Does she
little
have one or
town way
no?
out in
She tells
country.
people she doesn't.
Now
doesn't
you
she?
can-
I don't know. I
I
really
think we
don't
played Keller
know.
in football. you know.
Originally, we got
Remember all those
8
small
keys, I
schools?
think. No, we got 6 keys. We gave 3 to the village, and we kept 3, and then
That's
I
great,
made.
though.
I wonder if we have one.
Keys.
Wonder if I already have one.
I doubt it. I just seriously
He knows
doubt
that.
You should just get
That
it.
whole Metroplex,
So you-
you know,
I will get-
it's
I will get you a
self-perpetuating.
key.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great
You know,
for like
it
cleanup day
feeds
flyers and
itself.
things like
Oh,
that.
So for anything you want to
Economic,
post in there
Yeah.
about
you
what's
know,
going
so
on in the
the other
village,
thing
Like a
is,
meeting.
or
it's
anything
just
that you want to
kicking
post in
on.
there
Yeah.
about
It
just
always does.
information only,
Okay,
of things that you're thinking about doing.
yeah, that's great.
Okay.
I thank you for the offer.
I'll give
Yeah,
Pete
thank
to
you for the offer. We've got a lot of stuff coming up
Well,
in terms of trying to share information, get more information out there. One of my challenges coming up, I'm gonna be hosting a
We
podcast.
were at.
Great.
I guess AJ got.
To talk about-
I don't know.
things
We
going
were
on.
thinking, what's lodger's tax
Which is
used
on
for?
Thursday.
What's the road, what's Public Works up to on roads, potholes? What are we talking about waste here? You know, and get those things, information out wise.
Facebook,
Well, that's
Sharing
perfect. Facebook-
information.
Facebook's a
Facebook.
good place. We've got wonderful,
we got 3 different Facebook groups, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
you need to be,
And I avoid those like the plague.
and
Don't.
you've got to get away
Don't.
from that.
The
Because
problem is, the keyboard warriors, when people get any type of anonymity, they will say things they wouldn't
Well,
say
then,
to your
then,
face.
then shut off the comments. You can shut comments off.
But I don't moderate those pages.
Yeah, but you can shut off
My
comments.
Facebook is Visit Angel Fire.
Greg.
It's positive
Yes.
messaging going out to bring people here.
But if you want to inform people, put it on Facebook,
Oh, I know.
shut the comments off. You don't have to have comments.
Actually,
That's part of
we're
their
a public
plan.
entity.
I didn't know
The
how
whole
much
website.
over to the
I
village.
found that out last week when we tried to block someone's comments on
You know, because
Visit
the
Angel Fire.
Really?
And it was Russia, they were spamming us and we
Hi,
couldn't.
Dawn.
How are you?
Good
to see you in person.
Us every 5 minutes, we have to shut this off, we've got to be away.
Is there something?
Hi, Don.
Even.
How's the golf course looking?
It's wet,
Yes.
but it's open.
Were
It's
they
gr-
lined up
it's
this
green.
morning?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
We
green.
have about 46 in our little opening tournament,
That's awesome.
so.
That's a great
And,
start.
and the coyote looks really good down there. I mean, I've taken more pictures of that silly coyote, and the other one that has come to visit. Okay, so your coyote thing is.
Yeah, I don't know if it's working, but
It's not working. The geese get
The geese
within
like it.
within a foot of it.
yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure, thanks.
So Don, it's our understanding you be co-chair.
What's that?
Are you co-chair?
I don't know. I couldn't even make it on time. You think I should be?
You're doing good. If you wanna,
Okay,
if you want to.
we ready? We'll call the meeting to order and say the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the
to the
flag.
flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll do roll call. Nancy?
Here.
AJ? Oh, AJ's not here. Justin? Here. And we have Jeff. Are you on the roll? Probably not on our official roll call,
Yeah.
but, and Don here. So we're a little short, but
We have quorum.
we have a quorum. So, we're gonna look to have approval of today's agenda. We got an old business, lodger's tax ordinance update. Well, so let's just look at, we need to approve today's agenda, I guess.
I'll move to approve today's
Okay.
agenda.
Second?
And- Yep. Nancy seconds. Nancy's got all the notes here.
Yes.
She's going to town. And we're gonna approve
Just be doing
April.
all in favor, right?
Yeah, all in favor? Thanks, Jeff. Aye.
Aye.
Approval of April 10th meeting minutes.
I'll move to approve April 10th meeting minutes.
Okay, I'll second. Vote to approve.
Aye.
Aye. Now, tourism director report. Mr.
Okay.
Ralph?
We're back. For the last week, since Monday, I was at the Governor's Conference on Tourism down in Albuquerque. It's not as big or great an event as it sounds. The governor was not there. 2 state senators were there. When the second one showed up for her keynote address on Tuesday morning, she was an hour late. She complained about the parking lot down below and how far she had to walk. It was empty. And then she said in front of everybody, including the Albuquerque Convention Center staff, that the Albuquerque Convention Center is not a hospitable building. Jaws dropped. It was just shocking. So it was a great opportunity for me and for Angel Fire to be out there though. We were used as an example. One of the speakers yesterday was talking about slow travel and going to destinations just on a whim, just rolling in and looking for things to do. She came here and she found Wattville, you know, and then she saw something else. So it was an interesting, we were used as an interesting example, let's say. It gave me a lot of opportunity to work with the state tourism office staff, specifically with their research people and the people that buy their media, that place the ads in Texas, whether it's in airports or digital or anywhere else, getting the timing on when they're doing their campaigns. So, because what we want to do is when they go into market, say they start advertising in Dallas for winter in September, we want to be right behind them with our offers. So they sort of knock down the door, bring awareness to New Mexico, then we're in there saying, Angel Fire's the destination in New Mexico. They were real happy to talk to someone who wanted to work that way and file in offers behind their awareness campaigns. So it was a good opportunity for the village and myself to build those relationships. I did show the new logo to most everybody there. The tourism people loved it. So many communities were looking at it going, I wish we could do something like this. And it was nice to see that there were, it was enthusiasm from travel professionals around what we're doing. So that was good feedback. Not a lot of big ideas came out of it or overwhelming things. The New Mexico State Tourism Office will be doing some meetings here, Taos and Red River, in the next couple of months, some town hall meetings. They don't have it scheduled yet, but they want to come to our communities and talk about the things they are doing to help promote the state. So when I get that information, I'll make sure I communicate it to everybody. So it was a pretty good conference, not well attended. 128 people at the opening ceremony. By yesterday's opening breakfast remarks, there were only 27 people in the audience. So the convention business isn't what it used to be in any segment, from what I understand. And then a lot of these people, being hospitality providers, just can't get away from their properties. They're so short-staffed, they have to get back to run the front desk. So there's labor challenges and other things throughout the state. It wasn't as if the things we hear are unique, but it was a good conference. It was probably 3 days well spent. And like I said, it benefited the resort, the village and myself, so hopefully we get something out of it. Okay, now for marketing update. The website, I don't know if many of you have been on it lately, but it's building out nicely. The new logo's on the top of it. They've made a lot of changes on it. It now has the most extensive event calendar for the region. We have all the resort events in it. We have every event we're finding in the village. If anybody has events to submit, we encourage them to get them to us. We want to build that calendar as a resource for people to go to when they're looking for anything happening in Angel Fire. Prior to this meeting, I met with John Kitts at the resort, and I was telling him about our event calendar. He was enthusiastic of the things we're doing. And then the other thing he was happy to hear about us doing is the book direct lodging information we're adding. Because our website will now have every lodging property listed on the village website. It'll be a slick, not a sticky conversion, so they aren't booking directly through us. They're clicking to the normal booking engine. So while all of Owen's properties will be posted on our site, they still book through Owen Direct. We aren't taking a commission or doing anything like that. We're just putting out information. The more information we have on our website, the more the search engines, Google and so forth, will use our website in their referral list, so we'll start stepping up. I'm hoping someday we're getting more traffic on our website than the resort. Nothing personal, but it's just a goal. So that's what we're trying to do, drive more traffic to this village, to that website, and get things really rolling there. Social media, we started posting on our social media channels regularly. We did get a little flack. We're supposed to, we can't block people, I guess, because we're a village. And we had a list of like 20 people that were blocked. Most of them had Russian names. They were complete spammers. They weren't people that were ever going to visit here. We opened them up like we were told to do by this social media monitoring site because we're a government agency, and we were hit with spam every 5 minutes by them. So we're trying to find a way around that. What my little workaround is, we can block their comments and them from our site in a way that they don't know they're blocked. They'll still post their comments. They will see their comments. Their friends will see their comments, but they won't appear on our site to anybody else that's not their friend. So we're trying to clean up that communication and make sure that everything we're putting out on our website is family, wholesome, about Angel Fire, not about meeting beautiful Russian women. You know, we're not there. So we're really monitoring that, staying on top of that hard. Visitor Center update. We are trying to move the Visitor Center to Frontier Plaza. We're working with the resort on remodeling that, getting the Visitor Center back, not technically where it was. It will be in the north end of the building, closest to the park, where it gets a lot more foot traffic than it does across the street.
Absolutely.
We can also help manage and run the events that we're doing at the park, and we start taking those over. So it's a natural spot for us.
That lower level?
What?
The lower level?
Lower level, north side. There will be a window cut in that north wall, so it'll get some light from the park.
Where the restaurant used to be?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
Pizza place. It was a pizza place one time.
Another pizza place.
As long as it's
It was good.
downstairs, you know,
Yes.
people don't like to go upstairs, even though
No,
it's not very.
upstairs is supposed to be 2 condos.
Nice.
So the north end would be visitor center. The middle section would be a home decor store that Annie Lindsay will be operating. And then the south end was supposed to be an ATV tour and rental place. He's not moving into that spot now. He's probably going to Elkhorn Lodge, which is just as well because they had to do maintenance and work on the ATVs, and we really didn't need that out in the front parking lot of the park.
So where are they gonna go out of Elkhorn?
For maintenance, I'll do it in the back, I guess.
No,
No.
trail
Oh,
run.
they shuttle them, they shuttle them.
Okay.
They'll load them in vans and take them down to the Forest Service Road, and that's where they'll start the
So will
tours.
they office out of there?
The office out of here, yeah,
Out of the Elkhorn?
yeah.
So is there, I guess there's offices left of the Morning Star
Yeah,
Yes.
there's
on the
one,
lower level?
there's one little office there, yeah,
Just not a lot of room in that parking lot is
right.
to stage ATVs is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But
There's a big room in the back of the Elkhorn Lodge as well.
yeah, there
Yeah, that
is.
apartment,
Well, they used it as an apartment.
yeah.
Do
That'll
you
be
have-
great.
Do you have a kind of a time frame of when that might move?
Oh, well, some people want it to happen by July 1, but so do I.
Do you need some
But I
help?
know how fast things happen in New Mexico. They have been measuring for a new roof. There'll be a new metal roof put on it. It'll be slate gray. The logs would be painted a light gray or a medium gray, and the chinking would be white. So it'll be a very attractive building. They take some of that scallop roof off, put a nice visitor center sign on the front. Could be a nice location for us. And it's great to have that park right there. Let the kids run
Yeah.
around. The food truck's right there.
No, it's a perfect location.
Yeah, so that's our goal there. Hopefully get that done. On Saturday, okay, next thing, staffing. I am posting for another visitor center staff person. I need to get someone hired. I do have Caroline Grope, Dennis's daughter, is working. She moved to the dark side. She's in tourism now. She's great. She understands the village's accounting software. She knows the people. She's good attention to detail. She's young, enthusiastic, and she's gonna be a big asset to us on our events, our grant compliance, and everything else we're trying to build here and get going. So, but I am posting for another position there.
Is that full-time?
Yes. And that other position, I need someone that's willing to work weekends and holidays too in this job. It's not necessarily Monday through Friday. I know a volunteer that's gonna help.
That's when our guests are here.
I've got her name and telephone number.
Yeah. Okay, cleanup day is Saturday. We are excited about it, got some good prizes. The resort donated some good stuff for me. I don't know how many people we'll have, but Pat's doing the breakfast or the coffee and donuts and lunch. We meet here in Village Hall at 8:30. Bob Coaster with Austin Electric.
Yeah.
And A&E Roloff, AE Roloff, is driving around picking up all the trash for us. Bob's helping out on that, so if you know Bob, thank him for that. That's a big effort. He'll get everything to the transfer station hopefully before noon, before Ben locks the door on him. So, and then everybody gets back here for lunch. If anybody's got any time available and you want to help out, love to have you. It's a fun little,
And it's
only a few
election
hours.
day, so you could do this and then go vote.
Yeah,
And have y'all reached out to the school too? Because I know the MVHS, they're always needing those kids need those charity
Hours.
hours.
I'll let Caroline do that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Actually, both Cimarron too, because there's kids, I mean, my son goes to Cimarron actually, so.
Yeah, we'll do that today.
That's if they're alive after graduation.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, Saturday is graduation. That may be,
Is it in the
Yeah.
morning?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a conflict.
that is a conflict, right?
Guess they won't be available.
Well, they're-
And
yeah.
then
Oh, well.
in Cimarron,
Scratch
They're not all seniors.
That's true.
I was asked
Yes.
why we scheduled it on that day, and I didn't know that graduation was that day. You should have scheduled the week before. I'm thinking, glad I didn't schedule it last Saturday. There would have been nobody out there to
Nobody's here.
help. It was miserable. So hopefully it all comes out and we have a good
It will.
cleanup day and everybody has fun and make the town look good, just in time. Okay, next thing coming up, balloons over Angel Fire. It's looking pretty big this year, 35 confirmed balloons so far. One special shape. Yeah, we got a special shape, an apple.
Yeah,
so that'll be pretty cool.
yeah.
We're gonna have the Kites and Gliders event, Kites, Gliders, and Choirs at 9 o'clock at the soccer field or at the Allen Fields.
Hopefully the cats dance to the choir.
Yeah, so we'll have it all going on out there, and then mimosas on Main Street, but it should be a good event. One other thing I have to bring up, and I was just told about this morning, we'd like to get the Lodgers Tax Committee to approve the Lodgers Tax budget, which has to be submitted, beginning of June, I think. So Brett asked if I could call a special meeting
Yeah.
with you guys just to approve that.
Yeah, we need to go over the budget too, we need to know where we're at, so. I think we're kinda in the dark now, so we need to, as soon as possible.
So I'll try to set something up for, where are we at? It'd have to be.
Actually,
It needs to be pretty quick.
Yeah, it needs to be next week or week after week. Yeah, it's gotta be quick. So does anybody have any travel plans, anybody going out or?
I'm gonna be gone at the budget hearing meeting, but I'm gonna phone in, so if for some reason that's gonna be Monday, afternoon, so I don't know if you wanna have it the same day.
That's Monday, what? That's this coming Monday.
This coming Monday,
Yeah, I won't be here Monday.
but
So we
I'll be
only
gone all
have,
next week, basically, but I can phone in.
we only have tomorrow to get it run by this group before it has to go to council.
Or Monday.
What time's the presentation?
I think it's at 2 or 3.
Anybody available 1 o'clock on Monday?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'll phone in.
I think Owen's back.
Yeah, Alan's back today at 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check, I've got a appointment in Taos to make sure what time it is, but I think it's like 11:30, so I don't think I'll be able to be here at 1.
All right, I'll talk to Owen, see what we can figure out. I just found out about this this morning.
Yeah. I brought it to him to see, and then, yeah.
Oh, you started this. Thanks, Jeff. Anybody got any questions for me or anything?
One quick one, I know Nancy had talked about it, and, the idea is, I know on the website, is the website gonna be completely revamped? Do you know if Caristo or are we having a whole new website being done, or is it just being looked at and tweaked?
It's more the upgraded, updated, tweaked, some navigation changes, a more vibrant events calendar, lodging listings put in there. It's basically not rebuilding the whole site. It's updating, upgrading, and adding content.
Yeah, because I know the navigation's probably gonna be the important one for a lot of people. I get a lot of complaints about being able to find applications for lodger's tax, and then the agendas, if we can probably
Calendar
address.
that's not real clear and easy to see, so.
The agendas won't go to that website. The agendas will stay on the village website.
Oh, actually, the village website is what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh,
Yeah.
the government website.
Yes, is there
Okay,
any plan for that?
not on my part.
Okay,
That's
okay,
the difficult.
I'm doing the tours, I'm doing the Visit Angel Fire website. That's-
okay.
Brett did send out, when I first started here, he sent something to me to review the website, the village one, and make suggestions on it. So there are things in the works that Brett's doing
Okay.
to update that website as well.
Perfect. Yeah.
So check
I'll talk
with
to
him.
him.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on that end. Sorry. The one question you had, I couldn't answer.
No. Made it easier, right?
Anything else, Dawn, or-
So are you, like whenever I have guests, I point them, I need to point them to the visitor center.
Visit Angel Fire.
Okay, visit Angel Fire, and how close are you with the chamber? And I know those are two separate things, even though they're in the same building right now. But it's gonna be the website is gonna be good enough to where you're gonna have all these good activities on
Yes.
there?
Yes.
Okay.
We will be the resource. We will be the authority on anything and everything happening in Angel Fire.
I've already used it for events.
Yeah, the event stuff's coming together really well.
Has the village ever put out a map? I know that various realtors put out maps, and I've only found one that has real road names on it. The others are wrong.
So what are the
Printed map?
Yeah, a printed map. So that when visitors come to our area and they're trying to locate a specific house.
Or
a
trail.
specific- Or trail, you've got the roads, you've got our trails.
trails?
that-
That's
Yeah.
what, we just finished with the Trails Committee before this meeting, and that's kind of what we wanted to probably talk to you about, was, us working cohesively with trying to get an updated trails map. Not only that, but to have like the trekkers, calendar, with a QR code you could go to, and so that is something that we do want to address, is to have, I know almost everybody that comes to Angel Fire wants to know what the trails are.
Well, they need to know the rules and regulations. Which ones can you have the horses on?
Well,
Which
and not
ones can-
only,
yeah, all
not
of that
only
kind of
that,
stuff.
the elevation changes.
Yes. Oh,
yes.
What the difficulties, so, just like a ski run, make, green, blue, black trails.
The Greenbelt
So-
map's pretty good. The map that the village,
Yeah.
the resort printed it. It was supposed to be funded by the Trails Committee and the resort and the chamber. I got tired of chasing down the funding, so I just did it as the resort, and we did the Greenbelt Trail map. And it has all that information, and it's pretty good for those specific trails.
But where can you get it?
You can get it at the chamber, you can get it at the resort, you can get it from Brett's shop, you can get it, just call the resort, they got boxes of them, they'll bring them to
That's,
you.
that's why we need the visitor center.
Also, but I don't know that anybody's managing
I'll have,
that.
we have them at the visitor center.
Well,
We
the
have them there.
last times that I've been to the visitor center, they haven't had them, or they haven't been able to locate them. So I don't trust what's going on at the visitor center, or I haven't trusted.
Caroline and I know where those maps are, they're
Okay.
right behind my desk.
The Lindsay map, is the only map that I trust to give to friends, because it will not get you lost. It's the only one that has the correct, or from my perspective, the correct names of the roads. If you go to any of the other maps, the Remax map is wrong on, they have Brazos going in a very strange location down on the west side, and they won't fix things. So, but the Lindsay map, if you get a copy of the Lindsay map, work with them to share their map maybe. Don't recreate the wheel.
No, I'm not making a map with the, I'm not getting in this mess
No.
with all the wrong names.
But they even have the trails on their map.
As far as putting you're gonna have on your website the properties, are you gonna give us access to do our own, or do you do that for us?
Are you on VRBO?
Uh-huh.
That'll appeal your listing from there.
Okay.
Or you can manually do it as well.
Okay.
So anybody who isn't on VRBO can still get theirs posted.
Okay, so we don't have to do anything if it's on,
At
okay.
this point in time, but what I would do is when that gets up and going, check it. Make sure it's right. I'm gonna encourage everybody to do that. So I'd rather have you find it wrong than your guests.
Yes.
Aren't those maps, we're talking about those trail maps, aren't they put out in the summer at the trailheads?
Yeah,
I've seen them.
Yeah.
I don't know who manages that, the resort?
yeah.
Because that's their.
It was basically me when I was
Right.
up there. So, there's boxes of them up there still, they still have some.
So it's gonna be great to have him here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know where the maps are.
One step ahead of us.
yeah.
Behind your desk.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, the village and the resort are so intertwined, and with the resort providing as many of the activities as they do, we'll never separate, we're always working together, and that's great. That's how it should be. We're all in this. And I kinda like working for everybody in the village now as opposed to one entity, so it's good, it's a good position. That's it for me. On to the next thing, Don.
Okay, old business. Anybody have any questions about our old business here?
There's,
Where can I get a copy of the lodger's tax ordinance?
It is on the website, right?
Village
Okay.
website.
Village website, yep.
and Owen is redoing it. It's being rewritten right now that will go in for changes. He's building it to be more along the lines of what other communities do, so it makes more sense. We obviously don't have it yet, but he's working on it, he's getting that finalized, and we'll have it at the next meeting to look at.
Does it, just as a question, not knowing a lot about this, but does it follow, is there a state guideline?
Yes, oh yeah, there's state, you can find it on state website
Okay,
too.
thank you.
And a lot of what this update is, Owen and I are working on that, a lot of what that is we kind of looked at Ruidoso and Red River.
Okay.
And trying to kind of bring it up to date. They've already done the work, so kind of
Good.
make that integral with all we're doing.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I wasn't at the last meeting, but the discussion and approval of the Skate Fest proposal. Do we have any questions on that? Yeah.
Since you weren't here.
I didn't see that.
If you've got any questions at all, I'm here to.
You're up.
Yeah.
How you all doing? I guess most of you have seen the information already, or
How many, well, how big is the crew?
so I based the crew for the ramp building is for this pressure.
And they'll be here for a week?
Basically, a little bit less.
Could be euros or pesos.
The band members would probably be, let me think, I think 10. The skate performers, skateboarders, BMXers,
Okay.
some are 8 to 12, I'm not quite
8
sure.
to 12, okay.
Now, this half pipe things will be set up for this event.
Yes, sir.
And then taken down, right? I mean, it's just for the event. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And if you remember, they did it last year or two.
I've got a quick question. Looking at the advertising, where you've got a $3,100 budget for advertising.
Yes, ma'am.
Will anybody be here from Thrasher to cover the event?
No. So that budget would be for putting a full-page ad in the magazine and,
Right.
and banner ads on their website.
Is there any way we could get some publicity along with, if we're paying $3,100, is there any way that we could have somebody write a article?
I can certainly talk to them specifically, to the Thrasher magazine. But there's a lot of other people I can speak to and try and get some noise about the event kind of thing.
Because I would think that an ad is great,
Uh-huh.
but if you actually have somebody either on site with the pictures
Uh-huh.
and the participants and showing the total area as far as tourism goes,
Uh-huh.
and saying this, can we board, can you do the mountain boarding on the bike hill?
No,
Can you-
I don't believe so.
They don't allow that?
I don't believe so.
Like longboard, you're talking about?
No, the mountain boards,
Mountain boards?
it's too rough. The mountain boards couldn't handle the terrain.
Oh, I don't know.
I
My,
do.
my son's mountain board could do it, you know, that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
So there's all kinds of them.
That's maybe
So-
something we could talk to the resort about. I don't
Yeah.
believe they do it at the moment, but
But I mean, do you agree with me that they could mountain board if you had access to the mountain?
I'm not totally sure.
Okay,
There's certainly
that's-
some trails that you couldn't, there's possibly a few trails that you could.
That's what, but I mean, as far as, we need pictures of the hill, we need pictures of the area, we need pictures just so people will know that we're,
We'll certainly be documenting the event for our future kind of publicity. And we can certainly talk, it's a really good idea actually to talk to the magazine that would be advertising in.
Right.
See if they'd be interested in covering it, and that would be really useful for next time kind of thing.
Thank you.
And then you've already got the lodging reserved?
No, I don't.
So this is just an estimate, the 7,000?
Yeah, I basically looked at the hotel website and took down their prices and made an estimate.
Off of the amount of people?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Last year's event was basically the top part of the proposal, right?
Yes, sir.
And then there's add-ons for the
Yeah.
other parts.
Yes, sir. So we could do the event without the bottom section with the lodging and the food and all that kind of stuff. Basically, it would just, I think it would make the event better because I would be able to attract better quality people, basically.
What was the cost last year?
$4,500. And so last year, it was all kind of a little bit last minute, and I basically called in favours of all the professional and really good amateur skateboarders to come and do the clinics and everything. I can't do that again, basically.
Do you think it was a success last year?
It was,
Did you
yeah.
feel good about it?
Yeah, no,
the
it was,
first
really,
year?
it was great, yeah.
Okay.
Especially, well, I think we had 2 weeks to kind of put it together. And given that, I was absolutely over the moon how it went.
So you're requesting the 13,200? Is that what?
So really, so I think the basic to do the event really well would be the 13,200, is that what it was? I put the other options in because if we wanted to put people up, if we wanted to feed people, it would make it even better, basically. But it's not 100% necessary to get the event to happen.
So compared to last year, how many people are teachers, skaters are you,
So last
did you
year,
have, and what are you having?
last year I think we had about 5 people teaching and stuff.
Okay.
And this year we'd pretty much double that, or hopefully a bit
Oh,
more.
okay.
Where is the Plaza de Sol?
Behind the fire station. That big
That's what
lot
that
there.
area is?
Yeah, that's that
Okay.
area. That's-
And that's where you would put the temporary stage?
Yes, ma'am.
So you would, okay.
So it would just be, the stage would be a very small thing, just kind of a 1 or 2 foot high by 12 by 10 or something like that.
It's going to be a busy weekend.
Did you ever look at this?
In the date on that again is what?
It's 4th of July.
For the July weekend.
5th and 6th.
3rd through the 7th?
Yeah.
I have a recommendation on, from looking at the proposal and looking at the rest of the things for the weekend. I would recommend we do the basic plan like we did last year. Support any pro skaters and stuff that we can get in on a case-by-case basis. So if there are some, we'd know what the costs are. One thing we cannot do with lodgers' tax dollars is buy food. We can't feed people. The only way we can do food is if we buy it and then sell it at an event. So it's just a weird thing, state law. So we can't get involved with that. But we can do the other parts, the accommodations. The music, I'd shy away from. We have concerts in Frontier Park the same day, the same times. So, and I don't know if we need the skate music at this event during that weekend. If we had a standalone skate weekend, bring it all in, but it's part of the 4th of July weekend, so that's why I would recommend that we do
Hey,
it.
you're going over the drone show even that Friday night, aren't they?
The drone show starts at
9.
9:12 p.m.
Really?
It's
Okay.
dark.
Gotta get dark.
I know exactly when it was, because I was waiting last year going,
Yes.
come on, darkness, come on, okay, go!
It's pretty late.
It's 2 hours after the music ends in the park?
We'll have live music till 7, and then we'll have DJ going through the concert.
Oh,
through the
okay.
time.
What would happen, because it's a different, I hate to say this, but it's a different type of music.
That's the
With
only
the-
thing that I would
Okay,
say.
it's a different type of music in the skate park as opposed to over here. Did you have a plan on when you were thinking about the music coming in?
Basically throughout the day, if we had 4 bands, we'd have them kind of play a couple
On
of
which,
times
on which day? Are
on
you-
both days.
The Friday and the Saturday.
Yes, ma'am.
What about if you didn't have the bands and we
Uh-huh.
didn't
promote or support the bands, what if you did a DJ? I mean, I know you're gonna want some music.
We are going to do that, whatever the case.
Yeah.
Just in the basic setup, we have a sound system, and yeah, we're going to have a DJ. So, but we will have music, and
Yeah.
they'll be lively and noisy and fun.
Yeah, I mean, you need that, I see that.
I do think
Music start
the
and
one
then
thing
right
about
to
the music, the
on
bands
Friday.
anyway, would be it's quite a different audience,
Yeah, I
quite,
think-
probably quite a different type
Yes.
of music in one place to another.
We're starting early then.
And I don't believe you'll hear
Yeah.
one
Okay, so that's the
from
whole
the distance
day.
we have. I
Yeah.
don't think it will
On
interfere.
Saturday.
Well, I don't know about that. Sound travels pretty good down here in this
Oh, I can hear it up at my
valley,
house.
yeah.
Yeah.
200
I'm
miles
pretty
up, I can
close.
hear it.
They're pretty close,
Yeah, they're less than 2 blocks apart.
yeah.
As we move forward on this event, I'd like to do it as a standalone weekend event moving forward, not just tied into 4th of July. So it's something that brings people here
Yeah.
on a non-traditional weekend. So for this year, I love having it as part of the 4th of July, adding to the festivities, but I think with Oliver and I working together with more time, we can look at picking a weekend in June or August or something and do the whole thing with maybe a real skate band like the Offspring or something, you know, and then have something, and then really get the magazines here and build it into something.
I definitely think there's a huge potential for making that a success.
Yeah, but it needs to stand on its own. We need to make it Angel Fire Skate Fest weekend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's also, you have to understand, in this community, we do a Trash to Treasures garage sale,
That day.
well, on Friday, Saturday, and
And Sunday,
Sunday
yeah.
Uh-huh.
up at the community center.
Uh-huh.
And the community center, if, in the future, you might look at that as being a location to provide food for the people, because there would be options there. I mean, but this weekend is just a horrible weekend, because we're also going to have a pancake breakfast over at Olympic Park on,
No, Frontier Park.
no,
It's moved.
no, it's not moved. They talked about moving it, but if you're not finished at Frontier Park until 11 o'clock at night, and
So you
then
can't move it?
we have
All
to
right,
set
that's
up
fine, that's
things
fine.
after that, there's no way. We're too old in the Rotary Club to be able to get up and,
I was asked to try to get it moved for
I
you.
know,
so,
I know.
Sorry.
but it's, and, you know, and it's a wonderful idea, it really is, but the problem,
Okay.
we talked about it at our Rotary meeting yesterday.
Okay.
Okay, here's one other thing that I think, as an outsider looking in on these kind of events, I have an 18-year-old grandson. He comes to Angel Fire, there's nothing for him to do,
Right.
okay? He got excited about this last year. Okay, so when you look at the music, okay, he's gonna go down and listen to the country western, he's gonna go down and listen to the old music with grandma and grandpa, and we're gonna have a good time. Now then, if you've got the hard rock or other stuff over at the skate park, he's gonna get in his car and he's gonna go down by himself and be with his kids, that age group. There really is nothing here in Angel Fire for this age group. So when you stop and look at saying, you know, like, let's maybe restrict the music or have it at one point, but I think this group, other than putting him on a bike on the hill, he'll do that, and he skis, but that evening and the socialization that they need, this is what they need. And we really need to push that to say, you can get rid of that kid that's 16 years old all day long, and then that afternoon, and then feed him and put him to bed.
Then they sleep well.
Yes, put him to bed. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna say is, thank you for doing this, but we need to fill that time up and see what our teenage boys,
Community center's a terrible location.
because they're the ones that skateboard, there's a few girls, but it's our boys that really need to get out there and do their thing, so,
The
thank
only
you.
other thing I'd say about the music that would
You
be
can't get
beneficial
to it.
Would be that for the
Just
non-skaters
my
and the
take.
spectators, it's another nice
It's
thing
not
for people
central.
to kind of hang out,
Yeah.
especially for the young people who don't skate. Then there's something for them to do and to enjoy
It's a
as
great
well.
park.
So I mean, it will work without it, absolutely.
Do we have bleachers or a place for people to sit?
And the,
They
No,
just bring their own?
yeah.
Okay. So did we decide, no, we can't do food? Did we decide music, no music?
We haven't decided.
Okay.
you can't do music on that the Friday.
Well, they're gonna have music, I think, regardless, it's either a band or a DJ or their own. their own
Volume
music
might be
there.
Yeah.
And I get that.
It's going to be competing music.
I don't, you
Only
know,
at 5 o'clock and beyond, right? It's not before 5 o'clock in the evening.
I thought you said noon. They were starting early with music.
Music in the park for that day starts early. We have
Oh.
we have a DJ, 2 bands, it goes through the day. And it starts at noon, 1
I
o'clock.
think if you're at one of those venues, one or the other, it's not gonna be that the music is crossing over and it's gonna be a problem. I think you're gonna hear music from different locations in the
If you're standing
village.
halfway in between.
You're gonna be able to hear it. If you're away from any of these 2 specific venues, I think when you're at it, you're only gonna be hearing the music there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, you can face it,
Directionally towards.
Yeah, we can do that.
So I don't think it's gonna be terrible. I mean, and if it is, we will know, but
Sure.
I don't, you could hear it probably a little bit, but it's gonna be loud enough if the ones you're at, that you're not gonna be competing with that other music, I don't think.
The
What do you think,
Frontier
Greg?
music faces that way.
Yeah, that's what we do.
If escape music faces that way,
Exactly.
there's no conflict at all.
Yes.
There you
Yeah.
go.
just make sure of that.
We'll have to talk to the Uptons
We
about the
can-
noise.
I'm happy to work with Greg if you'd like to and go and plan out, you know, where we're putting things and that kind
I'm,
of stuff.
the decision lies right there. But yeah, we're gonna work on it, we're gonna make it right, and we're gonna do a good job.
Absolutely.
At whatever level we're,
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I know you feel like the bands create a different atmosphere
Yeah,
than just a regular
I definitely think it'll add.
DJ or a PA system of some sort playing music from somebody's phone, so
Right.
I personally, I mean, I prefer to see live music. So,
yeah.
I think it'll be a nice thing for people to talk about afterwards as well, so when we've got the next event, and they say, well, this happened at the last one, and if we get to the point that we can do it as a standalone event, we've already kind of got a reputation for it being exciting, and there's bands playing, and there's different things happening.
And it's built over a couple of years.
yeah, and I think you'll attract, like Nancy was saying, I think you'll attract a lot of people that aren't skateboarders to see what's going on. I mean, of that young crowd, like you're talking about, they may not be into it, but they probably would enjoy being there.
yes.
We did have quite a good crossover last year from people coming down from the bike park.
Yeah.
Just to see what was happening and then ended up having a go and bringing some kids. And so I think you're right about that.
And then for the advertising, Greg, we're doing some pretty good advertising for 4th of July anyway, right?
Yeah.
And they could probably tack
Yeah, I
There,
wouldn't
yeah.
suggest buying an ad in
on
Thrasher. For
what
this
you're
year.
doing.
That Thrasher ad would not draw anybody here.
So, I mean, maybe, I don't know if you have some logo thing to,
We will promote it on our social channels, we'll geo-target it, we'll target based on skaters, people that are preference to skating, so we can do a lot of it with digital stuff. But then maybe next year, if we're turning into a skate fest thing, that's when we go into the national publications and the big skate pubs and get out there.
Because the goal for that would be to try to attract people from outside here to come
There was
to
a
this
story
event.
last week, KOAT ran a story on the ABC News in Albuquerque, and they must have run that story 6, 8 times, I know, because I saw it at least 4 times, about the girl from Albuquerque that's going in the Olympics, that's a skater, Olivia, no, what's her name, I forget her name. Anyway, they covered her 1,000,000 times, and every time they showed her, she'd be at a skate park, and she'd have a little entourage. It was like a mother duck with all the other skaters following her around. So the big name skaters do draw people in, they're a big attraction, and if we can build this into something, it grows. You know, hopefully next year's not an Olympic year, and we get her up here for the event.
Absolutely.
Good. Anybody have anything else? Any other questions?
the only other one I would think would, I mean, for me, would be if you could maybe get a little more accurate of a lodging budget that really gives us more detail
Sure.
and a better accurate number. I think that would be something you could probably bring back to us, I don't know.
Right.
That's
That's what I was thinking, if we could do
And then
this
take away
today and not the lodging today and do that at a later date.
Now.
Yeah.
And take away the food and take away the advertising,
Yeah,
so
right.
you're looking at
So just about that.
20,200.
Yeah, I just, yeah, and I think that's, we need a more accurate, I mean, 'cause that's obtainable.
Yeah, you start time, I think.
That would be
So,
perfect, honestly,
this is
because
here
if
for
I know the
approval.
event's going ahead and stuff,
Yeah, I don't think we
then I
can
know
approve
what
it.
we're
We're
doing.
gonna, we're
And I don't know
gonna
how many people I've
ask to
got exactly.
resubmit
And I can come
this.
back to you with a very exact
Exactly.
proposal.
Right, so I would say we could, I'm fine with 13.2 for now.
So I think we, the way I see it, and Nancy was just mentioning, we probably can't approve it the way it is. We need to maybe resubmit with some more detailed information. I think we like what we see, but to have a little more accurate dollar on the lodging and
Well, yeah.
and then not do the advertising, not do the food, and then a new proposal from you.
But we need to do that quickly
Well,
because
what-
July the 4th is
Yeah,
not
Yeah,
that far
from what
away.
I was thinking, if we all agree for the 13.2, we could agree on the 13.2 now, then they can move forward, and then we can come back for the lodging later.
Yeah, not,
Because that
approve it
doesn't
not to
include any
exceed.
of the second
Yeah,
page.
not to exceed a certain.
Approve it not to exceed, you're gonna have to approve it now because it has to go to council for that, for their next meeting to be considered. If you approve it not to exceed a certain level, then I think we're okay, and then we have to get the details on lodging and figure out how many people are actually going to be here that we have to house.
So we're good with this 13.2.
That's what I'm thinking. I feel like that's what everybody thinks.
Yeah, the reason for this meeting today is we had to have approval or
To get them
on
moving on.
this.
So not to exceed the 13.2.
Right, this front, the
And then-
back part of the proposal.
No, we're not
Right.
going to say about
That's
the
great.
lodging, just that they will come
That's
back
really
and
helpful to me
request
for
that.
now.
No, no,
Give us
Resubmit it.
the exact proposal, because I didn't know exactly.
Because then he'll know
what-
exactly how much
as
crew he
far as
needs, and then he can really come to
make it
Because
done.
she said not
So
to
this
exceed
amount of people.
this, and you
Yeah.
said
Okay.
to exceed the 7,000, right?
Okay, do we want to make a proposal to,
I'll move to, vote on to approve the 13,200 for the skate fest.
okay, I'll second that. We'll vote.
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Oliver, what's your last name?
Bradley,
What is it?
Bradley,
Rudley?
Bradley, Bradley. I can't actually say my own name very well. Which
R-O-D-L-E-Y. Okay, good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it.
Okay, moving on to new business. Mexico Tourism Tax Usage Meeting, May 23rd. Greg, your tourism, you got a little
That's
something to
just an
say here?
announcement. We do have an attorney coming up to meet with us on the 23rd to tell us exactly what we can and can't do, which would be nice. So far, we've had nobody that would go on record from the state and exactly tell us what we could and couldn't do. And then we get advice from someone they're haggling with me over the definition of advertising, so it's.
You've been trying to get this person for a while, or a person,
Quite
so
a while.
that's a big
For
thing.
quite a while, and even going to the governor's conference and trying to talk to people about it, it's all over the place where people are spending lodgers' tax dollars in different communities. There's a lot of people who put everything into events. And it's, in the statute 10 years ago, you couldn't do that, so, where do we stand?
Do we have a time for that meeting?
I think it was 10 o'clock. Owen has the exact information on it. And it's not a public meeting, it's just the attorney's coming up to talk to us so we can get here. I'll find out from Owen where it is and we'll let you guys know for those who want to attend.
All right, anybody have anything else?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
the Garden Club of Angel Fire would like to.
Garden Club.
My name is Brenda Waters, and I have Susan Schultz here with me from the Garden Club. And it came to our attention, not this last year, but a year ago, that the water to the median, which is one of the garden sites that the garden club maintains for the village as beautification, that's where the, what's the elk's name?
Elliot.
Elliot,
Elliot,
yeah, thank you.
the deer. Is he a deer or an
It's an
elk?
elk.
He's an elk, okay. Anyway,
Heaven's
it's where
sakes.
he is. And if you notice, last year we did no annual planting in that bed. That was because in the prior winter, somebody ran over the plumbing out there and destroyed our water access. And if you have annuals here, you have to water them at least occasionally.
And I'm going to interject something real fast too.
Go right ahead.
3 years ago, right in the middle of, we just started COVID, and we had no fundraisers, we had nothing because of COVID, and that was just across the board for everybody. One of the things that we had to do, we took $12,000 and put in a sprinkler system with Pacheco's. He put it in for us, and we went ahead and made a determination to spend $12,000 just on that plot alone, because we asked the city, the village to help us, and they had no money at that point too. And then we've asked in the past for that, and we are the showcase going up to the village.
Absolutely.
That is the showcase for the village. And we have not, and I can get a little ticked off because we have put in, if you want to know the hours and the money that we have spent on the median with no support. So, with that said, take it away.
And in conversations with Kurt Epler, he had a conversation with Ari Overby, our president, on Monday of this week, that we should be able to use lodger's tax funds to get that repaired. This would mean that instead of coming out of the water department budget, the monies would actually be paid to get that fixed as part of the beautification program, and not take anything away from any other water project that's going on in the village. It's not, I'm not sure how much it would cost to do it. I know that they have to go down at least 6 feet to dig out the broken pipes, but it seems like a reasonable approach to getting this fixed before we need to plant annuals this year. And in talking with Kurt Epler, it didn't seem like it would be that big of a job to get it done. But we waited all year last year and were promised next month, next month, next month, and next month never came. We know for a fact that in Raton, where they have beautiful baskets hanging all around the Main Street area, and they've got barrels filled with flowers. One of our garden club members lives in Raton, and she is paid by Raton to water those plants every day. It takes about 4 hours every day to water all of the plants. And she is also responsible for acquiring the plants and making the baskets and filling the barrels. We're not asking to be paid. We're volunteers currently, but we may get to a point where the village needs to consider having someone at least pull weeds once in a while. And it may become a paid position. And there again, that could potentially be paid out of the lodger's tax as part of beautification. But we're not asking for that now. All we're asking for is give us water.
Well, I think one, if we verify that this is something lodger's tax can be used for, that's our first thing, and then we're gonna need to know an estimate on cost. Yeah, submit a proposal or a request for those funds, but, you know, I think it's if we're legally allowed to use that money for, we have to verify that, but if we are, I think it's an important piece of property that you guys have done. I've been here 13 years and I've seen it, you know, when it was at its best, and compared to what the last couple of years, you're doing the best you can, and it's looked great. But I think it's just a matter of getting a bid of some sort, a starting point. I know that they may not know exactly until they dig in there and find out what they find, but, you know, it'd be good to know if that was gonna cost $1,500 or $4,000. I mean, we have no idea where you're going.
One of the let me ask you this, on the bid, we've tried to decorate at Christmas also, and we've had a problem with the power. You know, and we do have poor power, and it works sometimes, it doesn't other times. Anyway, and at that point, when I was president, I called the village and I said, is there any way you can help me get the power on? And they said, well, that is not our problem at this point. So trying to get an estimate, would the village do the work? Do we need to bring in someone else to do the work? Is it the village's problem? That's what I'm wondering.
We would probably like to consult Brett about that, because, you know, it seems to me like it would fall under sidewalks and medians, you know, as part of, you know, upkeep and maintenance. So it seems to me it should fall into the village more so than the lodger's tax agenda item, so.
But could the lodger's tax pay the village for their work?
We don't know that yet.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, and, I mean, but it would be something nice to be able to get the village to budget for beautification in the future.
One of the things, and I will have to say this too, as far as the beautification grants go, we have received all kinds of money for the Shooter Library and the Medium for plants. So that has been a tremendous help for the garden club. The problem is the last year is that we could not go out and buy plants because we didn't want to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have
So-
water, the plants aren't gonna do any good. But I think we find that we'll find that answer as to whether lodger's tax can even be used for that. So that would be our first step. And
Which
then,
is the 23rd.
yeah,
So are you going to be finding out about if that's the village to do the water or the electricity? Probably would be good to do it at the
I
same time.
am going
Yes.
to talk to
Once
them
you're digging.
because I think the beautification of Angel Fire is all part of the goal of trying to, you know, the entrance signs, you know, coming into town, you know, those beautiful, you know, those with flowers and plants and stuff. So all of that needs to be in a master plan for our future budgeting as far as the village goes, I would think. That's kind of what I see, so I will.
But so the utilities for that median, I think is,
And the I think electricity would be wonderful too. To
Yeah,
look
you
at.
gotta do
tearing
them
it
both at the
up,
same time,
do
I
it at
think,
the
once
same-
you're
Yes.
digging.
Yeah.
When we,
Have you talked to Brett about, you just talked to Kurt, right?
I just talked to Kurt.
Okay.
Actually, in the past, I've also talked to Amy over in the water department, and she's a very sweet woman. I love Amy. I know her father and Chris, and that whole family is,
Yeah.
her son Gabe, I mean, they're great people. But she has her hands tied. She can write it up and say this needs to be done, but unless someone prioritizes and gets it done. And we have so many water problems across the village that it seems like a little thing to someone who's in charge of everything, but for us, the garden club, and for the village beautification, it's our main problem today.
I think it'd be a good agenda item for a council meeting to bring to council. But I'll talk to Brett about it and then I'll get your information.
Okay, thank you.
when we see the attorney from the state for the advice we're getting next week, this is the type of question we can ask them. Because it would be infrastructure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the timing's pretty good for that, looks like.
The clean and beautiful, the clean and beautiful grants, I applied for the one for this year for 2025 on behalf of the village. It's not part of tourism.
Right.
It's a separate department, so I don't know how lodger's tax interacts with it.
Right. But there's money available, obviously.
Yeah, there is money available.
And go to the right department for that.
Yep.
And I know you said that the people in the state are kind of, we're not sure what you can use it for, but we know Raton uses lodger's tax for their beautification, for their.
Oh, yeah,
And they
we-
pay someone to water.
And we could do those baskets and those flower drums and everything if we had village property to put them on. We can't put them on private property.
Yeah.
That's the problem. We don't have anywhere to hang the baskets.
Yeah.
Red
Oh, no,
River
I'm-
has
I'm
them.
not suggesting we
Yeah,
do baskets.
yeah, so
Those are
it's-
way too hard to maintain.
Yeah, they're beautiful, but
I kill them at my house.
yeah, it's the limitations on village property that we can't even find a spot to put a nice water fountain for drinking water. You know, it has to be on village property, can't be on resort property. So,
Bring water fountains back.
Anybody have anything else? This meeting is over.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. And thank you for listening.
Brenda, thank you for being here.
Yes.
Adds a
My
little
pleasure.
spice
Appreciate all
to
your
it.
input.
I really appreciate
My
it.
pleasure.
Yeah, we appreciate you too.
We'll do what we can
That's what
because we like what you're doing.
Well, we need to get back with the electricity too, so we can put up the Christmas decorations.
Yep.
And we couldn't do that because
You'll
of
make sure you give Greg
problems.
advertise.
So,
Yeah, if we're gonna do it, do it all at the same time.
I'm looking forward to the kite thing too.
Nancy, welcome.
Thank you, that was,
Back to
it
town,
is,
right?
it is good to be.
thank you.
I'm serious, I want to volunteer.
It's fun doing it remotely.
that's now, that's a like 5 of them now.
Yeah, first year's always.
So it's gonna be. It is.
Absolutely, we had, fields out the back.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, thanks for coming. Yeah.
I'll put you in my contact so you won't go straight to this.
So I can't get away?
Oh, thank you for your
Yeah.
support.
And I saw your golfers out
I
today,
appreciate
so.
your input as well.
Yeah, really.
Absolutely.
So, I know Brett's
I
on.
know, that's good.
And
Whether cooperating or not.
For some reason I thought you were in a meeting last time.
I was remote.